Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure, why not? The next Dirty Harry film, the dirtiest job of them all, as it said in the original classic 1976 trailer. That being Dirty Harry, the Enforcer. Say it again, the Enforcer. Now after the big success of Dirty Harry and Dirty Harry Magnum Force, Clint Eastwood after a couple of years later decided to do the next one. But believe it or not, originally it was going to be the last one. I think at the time, Clint Eastwood didn't want to be typecasted, didn't want to do any more, didn't want to just do any more. He did a few other films, finished westerns again, and went into other films. So he decided to send it in this one, that being Enforcer. And I kind of like this one. Now, granted, the music isn't the same music what was used in Dirty Harry, and it wasn't the same as what they used in Magnum Force. I think at the time they had a different musician that did this. So if I remember right, they did some of the music for Never Say Never Again, the Bond film, as well as use other music in other films. I think originally they used the music for the original series Magnum PI. So if you ever remember the first series of Magnum PI, you don't hear that do 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 do, doesn't do a shit job. You don't hear that theme tune, it's because originally the music was more to the first Magnum PI. Music's okay, it's there, but I'll be honest, I prefer the music in the other Dirty Harry films, but it's alright. So it starts off, you've got this guy, and these cops pick up this girl, bit of high-tander, but she's not high-tander. They're sort of like terrorists, basically like your typical, people that blackmail people and kill innocent people. So they're basically terrorists. They kill these cops basically to get a number on getting people. And then it starts off, the movie pans out a bit, the picture, and then you've got Dirty Harry at it again. You got a guy faking an heart attack in Clint Eastwood, that's Dirty Harry, basically tells him to do one. Then you've got these people what basically are robbing a bank. So Clint Eastwood comes in, they line him on the floor, they tell him what they want, and one of them kicks Clint Eastwood up the arse. Big mistake. Dirty Harry says his beautiful line. So what are you going to do, Harry? What are you going to do? They want a car. So what are you going to do? I'm going to different one. He gets a car, slams it in the fucking bank, shoots all the baddies, proper 70s style, and I love it. Sad to say, like most of the Dirty Harry films, Harry's partner gets killed, who was I think was in Dirty Harry and Magnum Force, the chubby sort of guy, he's a bit chubby. He gets stabbed by the terrorists. I think we called the Black Market Dang or something like that. And then you get Dirty Harry gets a new partner in this. Remember Chadney and Lacey? When Chadney and Lacey, it was the 80s, so his partner's in this, who you might remember in the cop show. Like I said with Magnum Force, I always find it funny that you always get an actor or an actress who appears in a cop show. So you get the one from Chadney and Lacey who appears as his partner. That's funny at first. He makes mistakes. There's a bit where they're training on the training field. And by accident, the guy's about to fire a rocket launcher, showing people how to fire a rocket launcher. And Clint Eastwood, it's Dirty Harry, pushes her out of the way, suffs her out of the way, because if he wouldn't, she would have had her face blowing off. So I kind of like that little touch. So there's bits basically fucking up here and there. Again, you've got that typical 70s music. You got to see where Dad's about to blow up a building and Dirty Harry's chasing him. And this bit makes me laugh. It really is laughable because he's jumping in roofs, he's jumping here, he's jumping everywhere, and he falls across this window. And these people are making a porno. Not being dirty minded, these people are making a porn film of all the places to fall through a window. But he gets the better of them anyway, you know what I mean? Again, you get the same actor that played in the the bad guy in Dirty Harry, the one who says, I gotta know. And Clint Eastwood aims to shoot him, and there's no bullets in the gun. He was in the Magnum Force where he played a pimp. Well, in this, he plays a different character. I wouldn't like say he's a bad guy in this like he was in the other two, but he's sort of like, a revolution sort of dang, doesn't believe in violence, but at the same time, but he's one of them that unlike most people, isn't a violent person. But he ain't a good guy. And I don't know, like that little touch. Eventually, Dirty Harry finds out who the bad people are. They kidnap one of the mayors, who's high up. So Clint Eastwood, this Dirty Harry, goes after them. Sadly to say, the dirt in it from Chadney and Lacey gets shot. But she's like surprised. For that era, that was surprising because I never thought she was going to get shot. She got shot. She gets shot. Clint Eastwood, this Dirty Harry, gets the better and shoots all the bad guys. And the bad guy, there's one bit that there's a fuck up in the film because the missile's there, right? And he fires it at the bad guy and he blows him the fuck up. But it's sort of a fuck up in the film because you don't see Dirty Harry holding the missile, I should say. So it does look a bit laughable at that scene. But it's only one little fuck up. But sadly to say, his partner dies. This is like common in the Dirty Harry films. Even I never saw that coming. The mayor says, I'll get you an air tattoo, I'll get you a plane. And Dirty Harry just looks, walks off to his partner. Again, you get that famous pan out, steam, different theme tune, end of film. Kind of a sad ending, but for its era, I imagine it was like a sucker of an ending, for a Dirty Harry film. And again, in 1976, this originally was going to be the last Dirty Harry film. Enforcer was going to be the last Dirty Harry film. Until money talks, it got into the 80s, and then that's when they bought the next one out, being Sudden Impact. But I don't mind Enforcer. There's lots of action in it, just like there was in Magnum Force. Like I say, he's chasing the baddies, go to a window, the porn set scene with people making porn, the scene where he blows up the thing with a missile, the scene where he's shooting baddies here, there, everywhere. You know what I mean? I love the bit where he runs that car through the fucking bank and his mate says, what are you going to do? I'm going to different one. That me in a car, he does a different one, he shoots them all. So I kind of like this one, the Enforcer to me. It's not a bad Dirty Harry film. As Dirty Harry films go, it doesn't have any time. It's one of them, if you like 70s action films, you're definitely going to get it. It's a Clint Eastwood, in all fairness, I miss that Clint Eastwood era of Dirty Harry films. And Enforcer was definitely that. There's lots of action in it. He's chasing people, he's shooting people. There again, bits of violence in it. The one scene where that dude was eye tanned, he gets shot, and his mate says, we're gonna get it out, we're gonna get it out. And the bad guy just shoots about 5, 6, 8 fucking times, which is pretty violent. But there's also a good bit of action in the film and all. I dilute that for any Dirty Harry film. There's a funny bit in it, right? He goes to a set space and he sees old women kissing envelopes, and there's a bit where the dad caught him and he says, you mean I've got to pay $100 to do it with a rubber dolly? Because it's a blow-up rubber doll. And he puts a cigarette in it and pops it, and he gets hold of this pimp sort of dad, get information out of him. So there are some funny bits like that, which I do like about Enforcer. But Enforcer, it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one for what it is. It's not a bad hour of your time. And it's out again. It's a Clint Eastwood I miss. So that's Enforcer. Into them people. I'll probably talk about more movies, more politics, and more things on the way. And I'm always saying it, if you like what you hear, press that magic button and sub to me. It'd be nice to have an extra sub. Into them, be smart, be safe, and I'll see you later.